Any
aspect.
particular data like the population, the access to people, what is the footfall, or any particular data which you deal with in the planning these
Um,
projects?
all of them are necessary, but let's say if you're designing from the scratch when you don't have anything, so then eventually the framework is important, and framework is based on certain need, what end product, and you determine based on the floor space is going to have, for example, how many buildings is going to have, and accordingly you can also determine how much capacity of the streets and the infrastructure will be needed. So that is the first step. So you fix the streets or the framework for the master plan, and then let the city evolve. But if it's already an existing city or some sort, and then based on that you follow all the other aspects in terms of the streets, transportation, infrastructure.
Has it ever happened that your master plan sounds perfect, looks perfect, but the implementation has failed?
Oh, it happens. It happens. If it's not, there are two reasons. One is that, of course, the project is not going forward, and let's say they decided not to do.
So it's on
Or
the monetary grounds, you're trying
monetary
to
grounds
say?
also, and the need part also. Sometimes you do the master plan exercise, you understand that, but then realize along the way that of course they don't have the funds, for example, but then also that it's not needed. So they fall apart. I mean, we as a designer, we make sure that the master plans are designed with enough flexibility. So the time will change, we evolve as a city. So certain master plan we have designed 25 years ago with certain framework in mind. So flexibility is inbuilt. So 25 years is a long time. Technologies change, education systems change, or the city needs changes, for example, depends on what master plan you are talking about. And having that flexibility determines the success of the master plan eventually. But the failure of the master plan is that because master plan drawing in a drawing format is a very simpler, I would say, in a larger sense, but building it takes time. It's dedication, the team who is building it, the government, the management, the policies, budgets, all of them plays important role in that case.
So
So
such kind of projects are mainly, uh, is in clash with the general public, which is already using such kind of spaces. So during the development phase, do you think that such kind of clashes happens between the general public, which is already using those spaces, and when the planners and developers have started doing development and everything? So any kind of clashes have you faced ever?
it depends on what type of development you're saying. For example, if you are thinking about expansion of the cities, or you're doing projects or the areas in the city itself, expansion of the city. So the challenge would be that how people would react in terms when the city is under construction. If you see just now Ahmedabad, peripheral Ahmedabad, a lot of things are under construction, where people are also living around. They're also commuting on day-to-day basis, but then we have traffic issues. The underground infrastructure is being laid, so the roads are also dug up. Construction is going on, so there is always going to be a dust and pollutions and all sorts of stuff. So that's where the conflict starts primarily. But if they are planned well in terms of that, some streets are kept for commuting, some streets are kept for construction equipments, for example, and some sort of planning is needed in terms of the traffic, and but sometimes we don't do it because nobody is paying attention or responsible for that. So that's where those troubles keeps coming primarily.
Okay, so this what you're talking about are the administrative struggles, I must say, right? But as we talk about the hydrological impact of such projects, like developing the projects like Sabarmati Riverfront, there is a waterbed, right? When you develop such kind of projects, and there is also a very huge hydrological impact of water flowing through it. So how do you take care of it?
See, any large scale projects, or where in the context of any water body or a river or a water stream, study of the hydraulics and hydrology is extremely essential. So you start making sure that you have understood that well, where the water is coming, what's the rain look like, when it comes to the flood, what is the size of the flood and the level of the flood. So all of them are mathematical processes which we do with expertise. There are experts who does talk about that and generate the models and the solutions. So we have to understand the how the water is coming, what's the rainfall, what's the historical flood, and what's the soil erosion, seepage, evaporation, all sorts of parameters we take care. And when any engineering solution to be devised has to take care of that particular flood is the whole idea. So in the case of Sabarmati, the 100-year flood, 50-year flood, frequent floods, all of them are studied. And there are computer models which you generate, which gives you the parameters and the solution. For example, Ahmedabad needed certain size of the embankment, which can take care of the flood which keeps coming in the river. So then the city is protected primarily. So that's is the it's like when you are designing a building, when the structure becomes an essential part to stabilize the building, it is like this. The hydrology and hydraulics process gives you a clue how you want to solve the problem.